Hello, welcome to ChickChat. This is our first episode, and you have to learn to say ChickChat. It's two chicks, and we're talking, chatting. And we're chatting. And we're so happy to be able to bring this program to you. It's an innovative talk show in Frankfort, Kentucky about women's issues. And this episode is entitled Love on the Rocks, and it's about being single or it's about being married. It's just talking about relationships and how we can get along in this world with each other. We're going to be on Cable 20 on Frankfort Plant Board, and we're going to be on YouTube and Facebook, so find us, ChickChat. My name is Margot Karsner, and I've been married to my first husband for 54 years. And we're from Owen County, but we love Owen County and we love our roots, and we've lived in Frankfort since 1989. We had a men's clothing store, Karsner's Clothing. We had a very successful 36-year ministry at Camp Pleasant Baptist Church. Don was minister and I was minister of music. And we have, right now I'm a paraeducator at Western Hills High School. That's how I met Betty. And we love stealing a few minutes during the day to talk about this show. But right now, my marriage of 54 years has had rocky times. There's been times we didn't even want to work on our marriage. But we did, and we are enjoying each other. And for the most part, say 99.5%, we have had a wonderful life together. But life can be rough. Married, single, old, young. It can be rough, and we've had some rough times. And things come up that you think you just can't handle. But my daddy always said it's all in your head. And there's a lot of truth to that. Because if you can convince your mind that you're happy and that you can get through this, you can. He could convince Kay Morgan, my sister, and I to do anything that we set our minds to. So remember, it's all in your head. Right, Betty? I think.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I am Betty Shepherd. We have designed a program that relates to today's women and families. We'll have special guests who we consider our experts, and we'll have some that are not so good at dealing with things. But we think together that we can work together and we can learn from each other. You're probably not going to see any celebrities on this show, but I'd like to think it's a cross between Saturday Night Live and Oprah Winfrey with just a dash of Dr. Phil.
That's me, Dr. Phil. I know all the answers.
A bit about me.
Okay.
I was born in southeastern Kentucky, which explains the accent.
She says wash instead of wash, but that's okay.
All kinds of things.
I love
It'll
you.
come out. It'll come out. Right. But anyway, I moved here when I was in my 20s. I currently work for the Franklin County Public Schools and for Bondurant Middle School and Western Hills High School as the Youth Service Center Coordinator. I am divorced, and I have one grown son. And I've done some publications. I've written some stories that's been published in some publications, and also I've written a book called His Hand. And also, I work with Laura Freer. We have a ministry called History Wrecked Me. We speak at women's retreats, conferences, and also dinners. But enough about us. Okay. Let's move on.
Yes.
We have many topics. We have guests lined up. We're so excited for what's to come. We would like to think that this show will help you take a little comfort, take a little time back from today's hurried lifestyle and the chaotic world we live in. And some of the things that we're going to feature over the next few months is domestic violence, depression, relax, laughing out loud, get outside, healthy. We want a variety of topics. We want to inform you, but we also want some shows that's going to make you laugh, because we all need laughter.
I want to give you just a little bit about, go back in time. Picture it. 1964. 1964, 65. I was a senior in high school. Everything was black and white then. They hadn't invented color. That's funny. So Don and I decided to get married. Back then, and I'm sharing from my heart now, when you found out that you were pregnant and in love, you got married. You just did. Our parents just set the whole thing up, and here we go. I will say that Don was thrilled at the very first phone call when I left Dr. Cull's office. And I said, honey, we're going to have a baby. He was thrilled. My family, my mom, my dad, not so much. But God takes lemons and makes lemonade. We got married in June, and Jimmy Clark was born in November. Time flew by, and he was a senior in high school before his little sisters, Sarah and Rachel, figured out that Donna and I were pregnant when we got married. And they told him. He couldn't believe it. He was a had-to-be baby. That's literally what they referred to a child who had been conceived out of wedlock. Back in the 60s, that's what they called him. Don and I have been married since 1965, and they said it wouldn't last. And it wouldn't have if it hadn't been for the Lord. That was the first time we ever prayed together, was Lord, save our marriage. So, and that was in, probably 70s, early 70s. So, that's just a little bit about me.
Which is a beautiful story.
I don't like to tell it on air, but I felt like it needed to be.
Some of us are not that lucky to have a beautiful story. I was married for 18 years. Now I've been divorced a little over 12. Personally, if I hear one more married woman say, you're better single, you're better off single, you don't need a husband, I'm going to lose it, because I don't think they understand that they roll over to someone every night. They have a helpmate to help them through life. And being single for any length of time can be very difficult. I'm not saying that you have to be married, but sometimes it does get lonely. And some people were just meant to be single, and that's okay. It's just been a very long journey. I've had people do the kind of fix-ups, and I've done the online dating stuff. And my two sisters met their husbands online, but not me. I have met a lot of bat-crazy men.
Bat-crazy.
But I have also met some guys that's become really good friends of mine, just not a keeper yet. But I guess the first thing I would like to say to single men or women is, when you decide to get out in the world, whether it's fix-ups, online dating, make sure you're ready for it.
Yes.
You know, don't set up a date and not show up, and don't back out at the last minute. It's just embarrassing. Don't do that to other people. It's just not right. Make sure that you are ready to date before you get out there. Everybody has good intentions, but sometimes good intentions don't follow through. So let's talk about online dating.
Okay.
Because that's what most people are using today is online dating websites. Yeah. So I did a little research.
Okay. You Googled it, didn't you?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I Googled it. That's all the answers are out there.
That's right.
So anyway, the research says that nearly 50 million people have tried online dating.
Wow.
I mean, when you think of a needle in a haystack, that's a needle in 50 million. That's a huge haystack.
Yes.
That's several haystacks. According to Forbes, the United States alone has 2,500 dating websites. And there's 1,000 of those new that's being launched every year. Worldwide, it's estimated there's 8,000 dating websites.
8,000?
8,000.
Wow.
That's a lot. And a survey by Statista, which is hard to say, it's an online statistics and market research and business intelligence portal, revealed that 24% of the people are looking for hookups.
For hookups.
Hookups.
That's the new word, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to explain that. I think most people knows what that is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And 43% of the people out there are looking for friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then 84% are looking for true relationships. So that's good. 84% are looking
are sincere.
They're sincere looking for a relationship. But while dating is alive and well, it's important to keep in mind that while you're following this path, to be safe. So I've looked up, I Googled some things about being safe, and some of these I didn't have to Google because...
common sense.
Yeah, and I've been doing these things for years. Start with some research. You know, if they give your name to you, then Google them, look them up on Facebook. You want to make sure that they're not in prison or that they have been in court for some major crime. It's always good to talk to them on the phone before you meet them. Use Google Voice. I personally use star 67. When they give me their number, I'll use star 67 so they cannot see my number. I don't want them tracing me. Don't give out your full name on the dating website or even on the first date, because they can Google you and they can find out where you live. They can find a whole lot of information about you. Meet in a public place that's well lit, and let someone else know that you are on this date and your plans. I know I've had girlfriends in the past that I would say, call me at this certain time or text me just to make sure that I'm okay. How's it sound, Margot? It's a whole different world, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe I would have someone at the restaurant watching me. You know, one of my friends sitting over there going, are you okay?
It
sounds scary.
It's a different world. And of course, when you go out on that first date, don't tell them your name. Don't tell them where your last name. Don't tell them where you work or where you live. That's very dangerous in today's society. And the website said that you should carry pepper spray. Now, personally, you're going to laugh at this, Margo. Personally, if I'm going to meet somebody out of town, we're meeting halfway in a different county, I pack my pistol.
Girl.
I do. I have my concealed carry, and I pack a gun. I want to feel safe. Now, I don't do that all the time. It's just when I'm not familiar with the area. So another thing is when you go out to a restaurant and you order water, or drink, do not leave that table and go to the restroom, because you don't know what they may put in your drink. I always go to the restroom and then order something to drink, and I do not leave that drink. If I do, I don't drink any of it anymore.
I don't even think about stuff like that.
Well, I mean, that's because you're not dating.
Yeah.
And another thing is, ladies, if you decide to have an adult beverage, don't overdo it. It's just not safe. So those are some things to think about when you are dating, whether you are online or fix-ups or whatever. Those are things to think about. So let's start talking about online dating profile. This research says there's 53% of the people make their own profiles, their online dating profiles. Of course, I'm thinking, what's the other 47% do? I mean,
do they just put a fake one on there?
Well, I mean, are they getting somebody else to help them? Or so that's a little worrisome that 47% are not doing their own profiles. But anyway, my cousin Gertrude has agreed to come on here and share her dating.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, her
That's
dating
great.
profile. So, Gertrude, tell us about your online dating profile. Margot. Hi, Cousin Betty. Had to put some curlies in my hair. It looked like a stump full of granddaddies. I wrote me a dating profile, so I want to read it to you. Howdy, you fellers. Mama said I need to move out and find me a man. So here I am, all you good-looking fellers. Back in the holly here, they ain't none left. Just some married folks and Jim Bob. But you know, he stays drunk so much, can't catch him sober enough to make it down the aisle with him. Just a smidgen about me. I can cook up a fine mess to eat, biscuits and gravy. You name it and I can cook it, especially my squirrel gravy and shuck beans. I can ride a four-wheeler, mule, kill critters and fish. I'll even kill snakes in the yard if it need be with my shotgun. I'd come in handy around the house, at least that's what my mama says. I go to church about every Sunday and listen to the preacher and wear my best dress.
The preacher, he said I'd be a fine catch, but he's been married to her 50 years, I reckon. That's a nice thing for him to say, though. I like to go to them festivals in town and listen to that purty singing and dance. I can cut a rug best you ever did see. What kind of feller am I looking for? He'd be real good if he's got a job, 'cause every now and I like to go to town and get me one of them there ice creams. If you go to church, that just tickle me something awful. Be good if you don't drink too much or do them drugs you hear so much about these days. Now, if you like one of them dentist types, you know, them ones that work on the teeth, that just make me happy as pig and slop. I need a little work on my teeth, and I'd trade you. I got some of the best moonshine around these parts, and I might let go of a little bit of it for a better grin. Now don't be backwards. Send me a letter on this thing, and I'll sure send one back. Bye, girls.
Oh, is this ChickChat?
Yeah. Can we help you?
Oh, yeah. Saw a profile, very interesting lady, Gertrude. She'd mentioned the show. I thought I'd stop in the studio and introduce myself. Is she's here?
She's not here, sir. You'll have to leave your name and number or come back some other time.
I'll try that.
Okay.
If you could just mention that I stopped in.
Okay,
She'll
we'll
know
tell her,
what
won't
it
we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She seems to be very nice.
Okay.
I'm interested in meeting her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck with the show.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow. Gertrude, she's got it going on.
Lord, bless her heart.
We do need some help on our program. We need some sponsors. If you have a small business or a large business and you would like to help us financially, we would love to have you get in touch with us, and we will sit down and explain a little advertising plan to you. And we want this show to encourage you and to enlighten you and to entertain you ladies. And you can even let your guys watch this show too. We're going to talk about life, careers, kids, husbands, money, housework. Why do we have to do all the housework is what I'm saying. It can get the best of us sometimes. It's nobody's fault, really. It's just hard to go through daily living with a lot of these pressures and responsibilities. So let this little talk show give you some comfort and some laughter about our responsibilities and our jobs. And if you feel like you could help us financially, we would appreciate it. Betty, how do they help us?
You can send a check to 145 Langford Avenue, or you can send it to PayPal under ChickChat, all one, ChickChat mk@aol.com. ChickChatMK@aol.com. Just help us out, keep us on the air, and we would so much appreciate it.
Yes, and we just wanted to tell you good night,
Pleasant dreams, and may God bless.